that yes, we ECOWAS and also other ECOWAS members that do not agree, that disagree with this decision. That yes, Jammeh must hand over, and on the 19th of January, we ECOWAS, all ECOWAS heads of state will be in Banjul to see the inauguration of the president. ECOWAS. This is violating one rule that says non-interference in the internal matters of countries. And what did I say?
Look at these idiots clapping.
Strong case.
We recognize you all.
Irrespective. In fact, we should not go to the court. And irrespective of the court decision, if we proceed, they know that I'm going to proceed. Irrespective of the court decision, they will enforce the December 1 election results. Let them enforce it to them and see. What are they waiting for? So this is the situation. I will not be intimidated by any power in this world. I want to make sure that justice is done. I'm a man of peace, but I cannot also be a coward. My rights cannot be violated and intimidated to a point where I succumb to blackmail. I will never do that. So this is my question. All what we want is a peaceful resolution of the conflict by Gambia based on the constitution of the Gambia. So this is the situation. In as much as I don't want any violence, but now they made a decision that no matter what the outcome of the court is, we will enforce the December 1st result. After they have all these documents, So my brother, this is the situation. I want to thank you for coming. I'm a man of peace, but that doesn't also mean that I will not defend myself and defend my country. And defend my country courageously, patriotically, and win. Emerge victorious. Nobody can deprive me of that victory, except the Almighty.
Of course,
so this is the situation. And I want to thank you for the work that you have been doing. You also have permission to meet any side. To meet any side. But I want you to understand that there are patriotic sides and those that are working for foreign things. I have many crimes that I have committed with regards to the super powers. One, I stand to say no when it is not right. And I stand to make sure that Africans will not be insulted because we are black. And I make sure that Africans' resources are not remote controlled. Because we have so many resources and we are the poorest of the poor. And we are the ones, our citizens are the people that are mistreated outside of Africa. When they talk about non-acceptance of refugees, basically it's African refugees. We also took the EU to the IEC for the killing of African youngsters on the European coast. And they said they were taking everything. Interestingly enough, the ICC didn't do anything about it. First letter we wrote, there was no response. When we asked, they said, oh, well, there are two ways to write. One way you write, that means you, the government, will conduct the investigation and put the first people here, the ICC. But this way where you write, you write, and then the ICC will conduct their own investigation, which is more advisable. So we changed all that, and we didn't hear anything. And that's why we left the ICC because they were happy to prosecute Africans, but not Europeans. So a court, an international court that is only bent on persecuting Africans, and we will not a member to that. So there are so many factors. They like the Commonwealth, and they were angry with me because we didn't want Gambia to be seen as a colony of Britain. Colonialism has ended. We have the foreign secretary of Britain making comments about the Gambia, deciding what should be done about the Gambia, which was unacceptable. We have always realized that the Commonwealth is a neo-colonial institution. But we were taking our time thinking that we can reform it within to make sure that it represents everybody's right. Only to realize that we all go there as governors and not heads of state. I decided to leave the Commonwealth. We cannot be colonized twice and we will not be enslaved twice. These are some of the The other reasons are also related to natural resources. But I won't go further into this. Because when I refuse to accept 5%, that is for the oil, 5%, that means 5 cents for every dollar. For 35 years, I was told that will be reaching change. I said, oh, the process so I'll be working. But because you are saying so, now I'm not even accepting whatever offer you give for unless it is 50-50. You could have been exporting oil before other countries. But this is the problem. As you stated about Gabon, this is the reality. You know what Charles Taylor's crime was? They said it's true that got involved in this conflict. But that alone wouldn't have warranted his arrest. It was when they discovered that he had some minerals and they offered him the 5 cents per dollar and he refused. They told him Virgin G. And so when there was Virgin G also, they wanted to make sure that because they use intimidation for other African leaders to say, oh, you see what happened to this person. And that's why they took him to the ICC. Tribunal. So also, other heads of state that are very expensive. They are the major producers, but they are the poorest of the poor countries in Africa. When a particular head of state in West Africa said he was going to make sure that they have, when he saw the price of uranium, and said this is unacceptable. What these people are giving us is Peter, it's an insult. And so at the meeting in Libya, he made a comment, and I told him, my brother, I know you don't like me because he said, you know, sometimes we thought you are crazy, but when we go back and listen to what you say, reflect on what you say and look at our reality, you know that you are a Pan-Africanist. And I thought, well, I'll tell you. And he said, this is unacceptable. I said, okay, well, but be ready for one thing. They will overthrow you if you are not strong. And so he decided to reverse and wanted to open it for anybody who is interested. This former colonial master said, anything that belongs to our former colonies, in terms of mineral, we have the first choice. First choice of in law is a refusal. Yes. So if you want to change, we have to negotiate. They gave him an offer which was unacceptable, and they made it very clear that that is why we have basis. So the situation is this: if you stand up for defend your God-given resources, you are in trouble with those people that still believe that by virtue of their color, they are superior to anybody who is not their color. And so, this is the situation. Who is the EU to say that whether, no matter what happens in the court, the December 1st elections will be enforced? In Austria, when they go back to the elections, Austria, when the far right, they said the far right lost narrowly by a percentage point. The far right came back and said no, they go to court and the court allowed them to go back to the polls, whereby the far right won and they accepted defeat this time that it was true that they lost. So if for Europe for the West they will always call for peaceful resolution of conflict. And in Africa, they want violent. In fact, that is the resolution, because once you think of adding petrol into a fire, thank God there is no fire in this country. This is how they destabilize our countries. Pit one against the other, as one of you said, brother against brother, whatever. Because that is how they get our raw materials, our natural resources, free of charge. So, and unfortunately, it took us 9 years to 10 years intervention in Liberia to resolve the crisis. Whereas the the war has ended, the economic crisis did. So in all continents, region and others, this is what has happened. Now, if this is what they want for the Gambia, I hear them. But I don't believe in what they are saying. I believe in what Allah is going to do. That Allah would judge, and then the Almighty Allah judge, so that we resolve this conflict peacefully. In a justifiable manner, based on the laws and constitution of the Gambia, not based on any European or any outside law or any constitution or any power. As I said, this conflict cannot be resolved peacefully if threats are being made. When the institutions concerned disrespect the facts. This is where we are. I want to thank you. And I assure you once again that you are free to go to any quarters and find out what you need to find. This is the situation. All what we are saying, I'm not declaring myself the winner. All I'm saying is what we want is to go back to the Gambian people. This is where I stand today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. Thank you.
Were it not for some statements made on the national media, which directly affects me. Mr. Salah is our spokesperson. He addresses matters and issues concerning the coalition and the transition team. But I will be doing disservice to myself if I do not come here and to disabuse the minds of your delegation as well as the minds of everyone who listened to the broadcast yesterday. They heard His Excellency the President say, the leader of the opposition, he is a lawyer. He said he will not take permission to go out on a demonstration, that he killed somebody here, cut him into pieces. The evidence was before the court here. And the Commonwealth interfered because the judge was a Commonwealth appointed judge. And I'm sorry to say, Mr. President has misled everybody. That is misinformation. The judge who presided over that case was Honorable Justice A.S. Tahir, whose services were made available to the government of the Gambia by the government of Nigeria. He was on technical assistance. He was not a judge who was appointed by the Commonwealth. And the then Director of Public Prosecution, a very able man, who later became Chief Justice of this country, partly conducted the prosecution until when he was elevated to the Court of Appeal, and other counsel conducted the case. The evidence was so poor that no judge will listen to it. And how can you have somebody cut into pieces and you exhibit that in court? That beats anybody's imagination. But I want to disabuse your minds that we are not men of violence. I have never been violent. I have never been violent, and I hope I will never be violent. But I also do not accept allegations made against me that are fabricated, that are misleading. The courts are here. Everyone has his day. The prosecution has a right to appeal any case. And the judges will determine the case on the strength of the evidence adduced in the lower court. That was not done. Now, I think it is a disservice to those Nigerian judges who have given excellent service to this country, to really say that there was interference with them. And I hear Mr. President Waifo say that we are not being judgmental, but yesterday I thought that some of the statements were judgmental. That look,